how your locks are antennas, and how they aid you in your spiritual journey. But we'll talk about that, okay? Hello, this is your girl Lock Lotus from Goddess Vlog Media, and I am here to kick off the moisture series when it comes to your locks. Long awaited. It's time, y'all. The reason why I said moisture series is because I'm not going to be able to hit it all in one video. So we're going to target the people that are already locked. And in my situation where you have mature locks and you're trying to keep them hydrated. And in the next video, we'll talk about newly locked people and how to go about moisturizing your locks, as well as allowing your locks to go through the natural locking process. So let's start with the first thing that you need to consider when you're trying to keep your locks hydrated. Water is everything when it comes to hydrating your locks. That's the most thorough way to hydrate your locks. I know, like when you're newly locked, you know how you have to braid and band, like if you're shampooing or something like that. But I also noticed 12 years into my journey, I still like to braid and band my locks as well when I shampoo them, and this is why. What I noticed is when my locks are thoroughly hydrated and dripping wet, my ends swell open. They don't unravel, but they just swell open. So when they're open, they're more likely to I could just pull hair off. So let me explain to you how the hair locks. This is important because it's going to make sense when it comes to why we moisturize the way that we moisturize. When your hair is locking and going through the matting process, when you shed during the locking process, that shedded hair shimmies its way down to the base of the lock. That's why you get the budding and all of that. So as the hair shimmies down the lock, as it sheds, it becomes the bottom of the lock. Now, if you, depending on the way that you started your process, say for instance, if you started your process with interlocking versus maybe a 2-strand twist, the interlocking lock is going to have more hair up the shaft because it didn't really get a chance or the opportunity to shed and shimmy down. When it comes to, like, if your hair is looser, or maybe you have a looser texture, or you started with a looser starter lock, like a 2-strand twist, then it's going to have more room to shimmy down and settle for the tip of the lock. That's why a lot of people that start with 2-strand twists end up having a lot of bunching, because there's so much room for that hair to shimmy down and just kind of nestle at the end of the lock or the tip of the lock. So when you are braiding and banding, what you're doing is holding that hair there in place and giving it a chance to catch that hydration and that moisture without allowing it to shimmy all the way down. However, when it's down there and it's an old lock, of course that hair has been shedded. You see what I'm saying? It's shedded, it's nestled wherever it's going to be. And if it's a long lock, because my locks are pretty long, so if it's a long lock, that hair is down there. And when you shampoo and wet your hair and it swells, it's going to allow it to be easily stretched out if that's the texture of hair you're working with. Now my hair is colored, it's color treated, so the lock integrity is a little different from someone that is not color treated. So I have to be more cautious in what I do when my hair is wet versus somebody else that may not have anything that interferes with their natural process. Their hair may be tighter and hold better. But mine, for just the sake of me, it will open up the end. So what I do is I braid when I shampoo and not allow it to dry loose. So with that being said, I braid and band still at 12 years in. So moisture, hydration, water is your best bet when it comes to that. The leave-in that I would suggest, if y'all remember Infusium 23. Now, this was an awesome product back in the day. It never stopped working, okay? This never stopped working. There's just so many products on the market where it just kind of got pushed to the back. But this right here always stays in the front for me. Even when I did Loose Natural, even now today, I still use this as my leave-in when it comes to misting natural hair and locks. I use this. Now what I used to do was mix Jane Carter's leave-in. That original blend of leave-in that Jane Carter had with her products, natural hair products, that was the bomb, okay? So I mixed this one and Jane Carter's leave-in. But what I discovered now, they don't have the Jane Carter leave-in anymore. I do have the Nourish and Shine leave-in. So I'm hoping the formulation is pretty close because I am using it at this moment. I mix these two. I don't know. I do like maybe 3/4, bottle of this and maybe a 1/4 bottle of this. So I mix it in my little spray bottle here. This is what I mixed on my clients. If you're one of my clients and you see me mixing this, that's what's in it. So I use that. Now, if you want to go to something more, how we just feel like we got to have a little something on there, just a little something. So I'll tell you, I use, because I got my products here now. This right here, this is As I Am. Now, I used to use As I Am products when my hair was loose natural. So if you on here and you a loose natural, go ahead. They good. This is the Jamaican Black Castor Oil Water. So something like this would be perfect to put on your hair when it's wet. Put it on your hair when it's dry if you're just trying to throw a little hydration on there. Now, what I will suggest is this, and I know a lot of people do this. Hey, it's all up to you, but this is just my own opinion on how that all works. When it comes to you wetting your locks daily, especially new lock wearers, is really important for starter locks and baby locks. I would say whenever the hair is misted or wet or shampooed, if you go to the gym and you sweat really bad in your head and your locks get wet, anytime the locks are hydrated with any type of moisture, I personally and professionally suggest that you twist it up, braid it up, don't allow it to dry loose. You are newly locked and your hair is wet. And I know everybody like to have like that look. It's like that look everybody put, you know, you got your deep part on one side and they flopping over on this side, and then you got your sexy look and all of that, you know, and that's real cute. But what you're doing is allowing that hair to swell, and it's going to cause some issues later on in your journey. Remember when I told you the shimmy down and the bunching and all of that type of stuff? That's the perfect environment for that to happen. So I suggest that when you have new locks or any locks, whatever, go ahead and when your hair is wet, braid it or twist it down and do not allow it to dry loose. Now, what you can do is let it dry overnight or do your moisture routine at night and then allow it to dry overnight. And then that way in the morning you can take it down and you're going to have a little texture to it, and that's fine. Wear it like that. But just getting up in the morning and applying your moisture routine and going out of the house with your hair like thoroughly just like wet and a little drip done hit down right here while you're driving, that's too much. You see what I'm saying? That's too much moisture and your hair is too loose to be flying around like that. Don't do that. It's really going to cause a problem for you, because you can hydrate your hair without it being loose and wet. So be very, very, very cautious of that. Black castor oil water is perfect. That's a good way to hydrate your locks. It's a little oil in there, but you're good. Another product that I will probably suggest, do y'all remember back in the day when we used to have Jerry curls? Most of the people on here is close to my age. I'll be 44 in October. So if you remember Jerry curls and when we used to like really get it in with that, let's not sleep on this, okay? Let's not sleep on this. So I know you have some people that are just like really big on ingredients, and if that's your thing, read them. If they pass, use it. If they don't, go to something else. But for everybody else, this right here is not a bad thing to do. It's not a bad choice to make when it comes to hydrating your locks, because it's liquidy, so it's not going to, you know, be like a build-up situation. It gives you the hydration. That's what it was created to do. Hydrate our jerry curls, so it can hydrate your locks, okay? So I wouldn't suggest going really heavy on it, but definitely use it and moisturize your locks. I would say if you're using products, and that's any product, honestly, make sure you shampoo your hair on a regular basis so you don't get a buildup of multiple products. Kind of settling in with maybe 1 or 2 products, but let's not go too crazy with an accumulation of a lot of products in one sitting before you shampoo. So that way you can kind of get an idea of what's going to shampoo out easily and what's not. But if you have a lot going on and it's just like a whole melting pot of products because you're just trying to figure it out, you're not going to know what's doing what, honestly. So when you're doing your hydration, kind of narrow it down to maybe a couple of products. And like if you decide to use maybe these 2, I would say hit this one first. Hit this one first and then hit this. And what I normally do is, y'all see when I have my twist, I usually do 8 twists. I part it down the middle and I do 4 on each side coming down. Usually I'm doing my hydration probably maybe 2 times a week, because I'm gonna give myself a little time to wear my locks out. So if I'm hydrating the night before, I may wear it for 2 days and then I'll take it out, wear it for maybe a day or 2, and then I'm doing it again. Also, I like to use, and I'll probably put like this in like a spray bottle with a little bit of water, apricot castor oil, and it's by Thirsty Roots. Now, if you've been around the natural hair game for a second, you will remember this product. This product is the bomb. I used to sell it in my salon, and I had people to come from up north, down south. Like, people was coming from all over. They was calling. They wanted me to mail it to them. They wanted me to do all kind of stuff. This right here, you can use it on your hair, your body, your skin, wherever you want to use it. It's kind of thick, so you can easily dilute it, and you can use this for a long time. Y'all, it smells so good. This is good. Oh my God. So this right here, maybe in just a spray bottle, some water, put a little bit of this in there, spray your hair with that. That would be another equivalent to the black castor oil water, but you can do any type of castor oil and water, whatever one floats your boat. I really love this one right here. Now, another product that I use that kind of over softened my hair, that is a thing. Sometimes the hair can get really soft and then that can cause a problem. And I'm not saying that it's not going to work for somebody else, but this Hawaiian Silky Miracle Worker, it's like a 14-in-1. This right here was actually, it was decent for me to hydrate my locks with, but because of the situation that my locks are in right now, we talked about that, I really didn't want it to be as soft as this made it, because it made my ends really easily pulled out. You know what I'm saying? Like if I just kind of just ran it through my hair and just did, you know, it was too much. So it was too soft. My locks were too open with this, and it just was not a good thing, okay? But if you are maturely locked and maybe have no color and you have a good tight lock, you could probably use this. I would suggest putting it with, diluted with water, because it has a little thicker consistency than this one. So it has a thicker consistency. So I would say water it down just a little bit, so you may not run into an issue with that, you know, that could possibly cause buildup. So if you have like color and you're trying to keep your locks thoroughly hydrated, the number one thing that I tell people is to invest in you a porosity control conditioner. It's corrector and conditioner. I've been using this product for years on me as well as my clients. But when I tell you, this is perfect for if you've had color on your hair. So we color our hair and it's color treated. The cuticle layers that lay like shingles on a house, those layers lift in order for the color to penetrate the hair shaft. If it's a high lift color, or you've done multiple color processes, or you've over processed your locks like what I did. My locks are over processed right now. So if you've over processed your locks, those cuticle layers are wide open and they are not trying to close. So when people that have color treated hair have a problem with holding moisture, it's because those layers are wide open and they are not allowing anything to stay in there to create an environment for hydration. So what you would need to do is use a porosity control conditioner to where it can help close those cuticle layers. So when you do follow up with your hydration routine, you're more likely to hold that moisture in and allow it to be more beneficial to your locks. So it's not going to, you know, dissipate as fast as what it would if your cuticle layer was wide open. So this porosity control, I get it off of Amazon. I'll put the link in the bio or in the description. But you can get this off of Amazon, and I don't think you can go into the store and get it. I don't think you can go in Sally's. Sally's used to carry a lot of root products that I really use, because when it comes to strengthening hair and maintaining it, especially if it's been color treated, they have a lot of good products for that. And I used to be able to get everything from Sally's, and I can't anymore. And I don't know what that's about, but you can find it on Amazon. So I would suggest closing down your cuticle layer so your moisture hydration routine is more effective, okay? When it comes to hydration, you definitely want to, don't be afraid of water, but I would definitely suggest braiding and banding. I'm still doing it. Braid and band, definitely do that. So say for instance, you shampoo your hair. You're trying to do your moisture routine. You shampoo it. If you're color treated, you're going to follow it up with a porosity control conditioner. And then once you rinse that out, you're going to follow it up with some type of water, oil, whatever castor oil you want, with some type of water. Use something like this. And also, don't forget about the braid sprays that were created to hydrate our braids while they were still braided. Don't forget about those. Let's use some critical thinking skills, okay? So when it comes to hydration and the hair being put up and being hydrated, don't sleep on those products that was created for that scenario, because you can use it on your locks. As long as you're shampooing your locks on a regular basis, or have some type of shampooing product routine going, whatever was designed to hydrate the hair while it's put up can be used. I'm just showing these because this is what I've been using. But don't sleep on your braid sprays that is for hydration. You can definitely use those. So after you shampoo, use your oil and water, use something like this, do you some twist, and let it air dry. I would suggest doing it overnight. Now, if you did it at night, I would say, you know, shampoo your hair, you know, towel dry it the best you can, blow dry it a little bit. Take the blow dryer and just kind of hit it just a little bit, so you can kind of knock a good majority of that moisture out. First of all, so you're not going to bed with your hair thoroughly wet. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do that. You want the drying process to kind of flow a little faster, so you don't run the risk of, you know, any type of bacterial buildup, or, you know, any type of molding or anything like that. You don't want that. So I always, if I'm doing it at night, of course, that's when I normally do it, I'm going to blow dry just a little bit, just to knock a good amount of moisture off, put my products on, do my 4 twists coming down, and then I'm good for the night. So I usually keep those in a couple of days. You can keep it just in overnight. Take it down in the morning and go and live your best life. So however you want to do it is however you can do it, is however you need to do it. Okay. So with that being said, that is the first video for the moisture series. The next video you will see coming when it comes to this series is going to be for starter locks. But I do have some other tips for starter locks, especially when it comes to the use of salt water. So stay tuned. I got you. I will be putting up the next video with that very soon. Thank you so much for watching this channel, and see you next time.